Ghosts of Strategy is back. You are watching Ghosts of Strategy, the channel that retells the darkest intelligence operations in modern history, where there are no Hollywood heroes, only real ghosts who survive in the shadows. This is a 100% true story. No fiction, no script. This is the boldest heist of the 21st century. And it begins right now. Take a deep breath. We are about to enter the dead zone. Tehran, 23/47/31, January 2018. Outside temperature barely 3 degrees. A cold wind slices through the Shorabad industrial district like a blade. A woman in her early 30s walks slowly along the dusty sidewalk. Black overcoat hijab perfectly in place, but her eyes never blink. She is counting every streetlight, counting every second between patrol cars, counting her own heartbeat. In her purse is a digital camera, stripped of all logos, its lens disguised under the lining fabric. Beside her walks a tall man, her husband on paper. He is never allowed to hold her hand, not even once. They speak fluent Farsi, laugh the way Iranian couples laugh. But both know if they are stopped and asked for papers right now, they will be dead before dawn. 400 meters away stands a dilapidated, nondescript warehouse. No guards, no cameras, no sign worth noticing. From the outside, it's just another nameless textile company. Inside, 32 safes, holding what the entire world was fooled about for 3 whole years. 100,000 pages of documents, 183 CDs, blueprints for nuclear warheads that can be mated to a Shahab 3 missile in a matter of months. The living proof that Iran never abandoned its nuclear bomb dream. 2 months from tonight, exactly 24 Mossad operatives will break into this place, steal half a ton of truth, and vanish into the night before Iranian intelligence can hit the first alarm button. Tonight, the woman codenamed Tamar has only one mission: walk like a harmless tourist and memorize the exact place where she or her teammates might die. Tehran, 0003, 1 February 2018. The sky is so black you could slice it. Not a single star, not a single streetlight still on within a half-kilometer radius. 2 gray appliance repair vans quietly pull over on a dirt shoulder 300 meters from the target. The sliding doors open without a sound. 8 black shadows spill out, moving fast like blades cutting the night. No one speaks. Only the steady breathing through masks and the faint metallic clink inside waterproof backpacks. This is the spearhead team. The other 16 are waiting at 3 separate exfiltration points across Tehran, ready to dive together if the plan collapses. The team leader, codenamed Danny, 42 years old. The man who once slit a Hezbollah general's throat in Beirut in 2004 without leaving a single drop of blood on the marble floor is not carrying a knife tonight. He is carrying a battery-powered plasma cutter, 40-ton hydraulic spreaders, and a cigarette pack-sized jamming device that cost $4.2 million to develop. Danny raises his hand. The entire team drops to one knee in the darkness. In front of them is the warehouse's main 8-centimeter thick steel door, mechanical and electronic locks combined. According to the 1-1 mock-up, in the Negev desert, they have exactly 3 minutes, 47 seconds to open it before the alarm signal reaches District 20's security center. But reality is always crueler than any rehearsal. 0006. The jammer is activated. The red indicator on the door blinks once and dies. The plasma cutter screams like a strangled demon. Blue sparks fly everywhere. The stench of burning metal fills the freezing air. 3 minutes, 47 seconds pass. The door hasn't budged. 4 minutes, 12 seconds. Cold sweat runs down Danny's spine. Past 7 minutes, the entire operation is dead. 24 people will become 24 corpses hanging in a Tehran square tomorrow morning. 4 minutes, 38 seconds. A dry clack echoes in the night. The door opens 30 centimeters, just wide enough for one person to slip through. Danny pushes it, steps in first, and in that instant, for the first time in history, outsiders lay eyes on Iran's nuclear tomb. A long corridor, the smell of old paper dust and secrets. At the end, the main room, 32 safes lined up in 4 perfect rows. But something exists here that never appeared in hundreds of hours of rehearsal. 30 brand new cardboard boxes sealed with red tape handwritten labels, reading 2016 to 2017 post-JCPOA, meaning Iran continued developing nuclear weapons right after signing the deal with the world, meaning the JCPOA was nothing but a 3-year theater play, meaning these half-ton of papers are enough to set the entire Middle East on fire. Tamar enters third, removes her hijab, revealing short dyed black hair and ice blue eyes. She kneels before the first safe, her hands trembling not from fear, but from excitement so intense it chokes her. She is a PhD in nuclear engineering who once worked at the Dimona reactor. And right now she is holding the blueprint for a 5-stage warhead weighing only 500 kilos, small enough to fit on a Shahab 3 2,000-kilometer range flight time to Tel Aviv 11 minutes. But the clock doesn't wait for emotions. They are already 11 minutes behind schedule. They have exactly 6 hours, 18 minutes before the first security guard shows up at 07 Oslo. And in just a few more minutes, a police car is about to turn into Shorabad, its headlights sweeping across the warehouse door, while inside one of the safes has just started emitting a very faint tick. Tick. The sound of an incineration mechanism arming itself. 04:23. 1 February 2018. 2 hours 37 minutes left before the first guard arrives. Inside the warehouse, the air is heavy as lead. The smell of old paper sweat and hot metal still lingers. Red flashlights sweep across the safes like blood-colored blades. By now, the Mossad team has opened 23 safes, photographed the contents of 9 others because of self-destruct mechanisms, and the waterproof backpacks are bulging with nearly 480 kilos of original documents and 183 CDs. They should have left 20 minutes ago, but they can't, because right now 2 blinding white headlights suddenly sweep across the gap under the main door. A white and green Toyota police patrol car is slowly rolling down the dirt road less than 50 meters from the warehouse. The crunch of tires on gravel sounds like breaking bones in the dead of night. Danny instantly raises a fist. Lights off. 8 people instantly become 8 shadows pressed against the cold concrete wall. No one dares breathe loudly. Only the pounding of hearts in their ears. The car stops. Doors open. 2 officers step out, flashlights pointed straight at the freshly cut steel door. One says something in sleepy Farsi, still holding an unlit cigarette. They are one thin door away from the Mossad team. One small sound is all it takes for the whole world to know 24 Israelis are here. 500 kilometers away, in Mossad's underground command center, in Tel Aviv, Yossi Cohen stands frozen in front of the satellite screen. He can clearly see the police car, the 2 flashlight beams, the 8 motionless heat signatures inside the warehouse. His knuckles are white, around a coffee cup, gone cold 3 hours ago. He can do nothing but watch his people die. Inside, Tamar is lying flat under a table, clutching the folder she just pulled from safe number 27 blueprints for a multi-stage thermonuclear warhead. North Korean cooperation in 2017 after the JCPOA was signed. She knows if they are caught, she will be the first to hang because she is a woman, because she is Jewish, and because she has seen what no one is allowed to see. She closes her eyes and counts seconds. 30 seconds, 60, 90. Car doors slam. Engine starts. The car drives away. Later they will learn it was diverted by a fake domestic disturbance call in another district. The only piece of luck all night. But luck never lasts. When Danny signals to continue, a young operative named Avi accidentally kicks a cardboard box. A dry thud echoes in the deadly silence. At the same moment, safe number 31, the last one, begins its steady tick, tick, tick. The incineration mechanism has armed. 45 seconds until everything inside turns to ash. And if fire breaks out, the whole warehouse becomes a beacon guiding thousands of Iranian troops here within 5 minutes. Tehran 0511, 1 February 2018. 1 hour 49 minutes until first light reaches the warehouse windows. Safe? No. 31 is coldly counting down with its tick, tick. Each one bringing the flames closer that could incinerate all evidence and the 8 people in this room. Iran's self-destruct system is merciless. 38 seconds is enough to reduce everything to dust. Danny is on his knees in front of the safe, sweat pouring under the black mask. He has exactly one chance. 1 millimeter wrong, and the whole team dies. Outside, a second police car has stopped right in front of the main door less than 15 meters away. Engine idling, white exhaust smoke in the freezing air. Over the radio, a dry voice, Shorabad, reports burning smell check immediately. Someone smelled the molten metal from cutting the door. The team knows if that steel door opens now, they will have to fight to the last man, and they are not allowed to leave even one living body behind. 1,500 kilometers away, Yossi Cohen's hands are clenched white. He sees the police car, the 2 officers with flashlights, the 8 motionless heat dots inside. He can do nothing but watch his comrades die. Inside, Tamar has just turned to the last page of a red-covered folder. She freezes. Iran didn't just preserve old knowledge, they completed a second-generation MERV thermonuclear warhead in November 2018, 3 months ago. 3 re-entry vehicles capable of defeating any Iron Dome layer, enough to turn Tel Aviv to ash with one button press. If this operation fails, in 18 months, Iran will have real bombs, and Israel will cease to exist. Danny slides an ultra-thin carbon strip into the gap while plugging in a bypass device custom-built by the Weizmann Institute for this night alone. The tiny screen on his wrist counts 00017, 0016. No one breathes. 0004. The ticking stops. Screen turns green. Safe opens. Inside is the final folder. Red cover, gold lettering. Final phase. Explosive lens initiation. Toi Giton. Project Ahmad 2. Danny stuffs it into the backpack, zips it shut. 500 kilos of documents secured. They have to leave now. But at that exact moment, the steel door shudders. 3 hard knocks. Knock, knock, knock. A policeman's voice behind the steel. Anyone in there? Open up now. They have decided to force the door. 0518, 1. February 2018, 1 hour, 42 minutes until the first guard inserts his key. The steel door vibrates under increasingly heavy blows. Open up, police. The clang of metal on metal rings like funeral bells. Inside, 8 shadows move so fast they almost cease to exist. Danny whispers in Hebrew voice, hoarse from smoke and stress, Omega. Immediately, Omega is the word no one wanted to hear tonight. It means abandon everything. Trigger scene, destruction, escape in blood if necessary. One operative begins pouring petrol on the concrete floor. Another places a small thermobaric charge in the corner enough to turn the entire warehouse into a white fireball in 90 seconds, enough to leave not even a scrap of paper with Hebrew writing. Tamar clutches the last 68 kiloshi backplate containing the Ahmad 2 file and 37 CDs with full nuclear explosion simulations from 2015 to 2017. She knows if they have to burn it, she will burn with it. But Danny still has one last card. He activates the high-frequency jammer tested 47 times in the Negev. 4 seconds later, the 2 policemen's entire radio system turns to white noise. Walkie-talkies dead. Patrol car headlights flicker and die. The officers panic, banging harder, but they cannot call for backup immediately. They have just lost 3 priceless minutes. Danny signals. The team sprints toward the rear exit, the door Tamar discovered 2 months earlier, a door that exists on no official blueprint. They run in absolute silence, only the soft pad of rubber soles. When the rear door bursts open, 3 degrees air floods in like a knife to the lungs. 2 vans are already waiting in 2 different alleys. They split into 4 small groups. 4 vehicles, 4 routes, 4 cover stories. Documents divided into 3 parts. No one carrying more than 170 keys. If one group is caught, the other 2 still live. 05:31, the last van leaves Shorabad. Behind them, the warehouse stands silent in the dark. The front door still being pounded, but not a single Israeli remains inside. Only a ceiling security camera, red lights still blinking steadily, and a thermobaric charge counting down 20 minutes unless it receives Danny's cancel signal. He hasn't canceled yet. He will only cancel when all 24 are out of Tehran. 06071 February 2018. The eastern sky has turned ash gray. 53 minutes until full sunrise. 4 vans are driving 4 different routes. No radio contact. Only one-way encrypted GPS pings blinking back to Tel Aviv. Each carries a portion of the 500 kilo archive, and every person knows if stopped, surrender is not an option. Tamar's van is at the 3rd checkpoint on the Tehran highway. 2 Revolutionary Guards AKMs loaded headlights blinding the windshield. The driver, a 52-year-old operative who once worked at the Israeli embassy in Ankara, lowers the window flashes, the perfect smile of a Swiss businessman. We're carrying antique carpet samples for an exhibition in Baku, already late for the flight. The suitcases are suspiciously heavy. One guard signals to open the boot. Tamar sits in the back, still in full black abaya and hijab, hand resting on the concealed Beretta 70. She has already decided if the boot opens, she will drop both guards before they can scream. Then the van will ram the barricade to clear a bloody path. 3 seconds of lead-heavy silence. The guard looks at the cases, looks at his watch, waves them through. Go. You're late. No one knows why. Maybe he was sleepy. Maybe Allah blinked for 1 second. The van rolls on. Tamar lets the pistol drop, her hand shaking too hard to hold a water bottle. At the same moment in Tel Aviv, Command Center. Yossi Cohen receives Danny's final message. Internal camera wiped. No visual evidence. Turns out the jammer at 0518 didn't just kill radios. It pushed a malware packet through the power line into the CCTV system. The red light that blinked for 5 hours has been overwritten with 6-month-old footage of an empty warehouse. Iran will never have a single frame proving Israel was there. But joy lasts exactly 40 seconds. The satellite screen suddenly flashes red. A military convoy, 6 refrigerated trucks, and 2 armored vehicles is racing toward Shorabad at 140 km/h. Someone raised a high-level alert. They are 28 kilometers away. If the convoy arrives before 07 Euro, they will seal the entire district and discover the cut door. Even without video, Iran will know exactly who took their archive, and revenge will be instant. Danny sends one last signal before going dark. Cancel thermobaric. Leave no burn marks. The charge is disarmed at 0007. The warehouse remains intact, but 24 people are still inside Iran. Iran-Azerbaijan border, 2147-3 February 2018. Heavy snow winds screaming like knives. 17 degrees C. The last vehicle was abandoned 14 hours ago. The 4 groups reunite on a smuggler's trail so narrow only a donkey can pass between 2 snow-covered rock walls. Vehicles can go no further. They transfer to 18 donkeys and mules, each carrying 2 sheepskin-wrapped wooden crates containing the divided 500 kilo archive. Tamar leads the column face, covered only her ice-blue eyes visible in the blizzard. In the valley below, dozens of Iranian army headlights sweep every meter of ground. 42 hours after the empty warehouse was discovered, Tehran has deployed an entire division: helicopters, tracker dogs, thermal drones. They don't know exactly what was taken, but they know someone just stole the most important thing their nation possessed, and they are ready to kill to get it back. 012-4 February. The mule train reaches the frozen Aras River. The ice should be at least 40 centimeters thick to bear the weight, but this winter has been unusually warm. Danny throws a rock. A sharp crack like a gunshot. Ice only 19 centimeters thick. Total weight of people and animals over 3 tons. If the ice breaks, everyone drowns in 4 degrees water. No one survives more than 4 minutes. No other route. They untie the loads, form 2 single-file lines, 10 meters apart, and step forward as if walking on a tightrope. Tamar in the middle, gripping the reins, quietly reciting a Hebrew prayer. The ice groans beneath their feet. A long crack races across the surface. The last mule panics. At the distant sound of a helicopter, rears up, kicks hard. The ice shatters. Black water surges up like a demon's mouth. 3 animals and 2 operatives fall straight through, their screams swallowed by the blizzard. Danny lunges back, throws a rope, hauls one half-conscious man to safety, but the second vanishes under the ice. Only 23 survivors left, soaked, shaking from cold and from losing comrades. Baku, Azerbaijan, 09-14-6. February 2018, drizzle. Haydar Aliyev Airport shrouded in thick gray fog. The remaining 23 people, none using their real names anymore, sit scattered across the international transit zone. Belgian, Swiss, Canadian, German passports perfect, down to the fake fingerprints. But every one of them knows if Iranian intelligence has tracked them to Baku, death is minutes away. Tamar sits in the upstairs cafe, gray wool dress, Glasses, hair in a neat bun, looking like a Swiss university lecturer returning from a textile conference. The final backbook at her feet contains the Ahmad II file she has guarded for 5 sleepless days. Across from her, 3 tables away, sits Danny now, Pierre Laurent, Belgian businessman, eyes ringed black from losing 2 teammates under the RS ice. They are not allowed to look at each other for more than 3 seconds. 09:27. Gate 28 announces boarding for Turkish Airlines flight TK333 to Istanbul, connecting to Tel Aviv. They stand queue separately, at least 5 people apart. When Tamar hands her passport to security, a man in a black suit steps up and whispers something in Azeri to the officer. Tamar clearly hears 2 words, Iranian request. Her heart stops for 1 beat. The officer looks at her at the passport, then at the man in the suit. 3 seconds stretch like 3 centuries. Then the officer stamps the passport with a dry clack and hands it back. She walks through. No one ever explained why. Only much later did they learn Mossad wired exactly $800,000 to a Liechtenstein account belonging to an airport official 11 minutes earlier. 10:05. The plane lifts off. As the wheels leave the runway, Tamar closes her eyes for the first time in 5 straight days. Under seat 27A, the Ahmad II folder lies quiet. Not one operative captured, not one page lost. Iran still doesn't know exactly what they lost. Tel Aviv, 30 April 2018, 20:00. Secure briefing room. Israeli Ministry of Defense. Cold fluorescent lights. Benjamin Netanyahu steps to the podium. Behind him, 3 walls covered floor to ceiling with evidence, 55,000 original pages, 183 CDs, thousands of photos of warheads, explosive lens drawings, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh's handwritten signatures, all displayed on tall metal shelves like a museum of deception. Below the stage, over 100 international journalists are so silent you can hear the second hand on a watch. Netanyahu points to the giant screen, voice low and hammering. Tonight I am going to say 1 sentence and I will say it 100 times if I have to. Iran lied. Iran lied big time. The screen changes satellite photos of the Shorabad warehouse. Open safes, cardboard boxes labeled 2016-2017 post-JCPOA, then close-ups of Merv warhead designs, ready for Shahab 3 missiles, 2,000 kilometer range. The room goes dead silent. An American reporter whispers, "Jesus Christ." Netanyahu continues, "These are not Photoshop. These are original documents. Red government stamps, handwritten signatures, still smelling of Shorabad dust." Iran preserved its entire nuclear weapons program after signing the JCPOA while smiling and shaking the world's hand. He pauses exactly 3 seconds so the world can breathe. Then the final line. And Israel is the only country on earth that brought them into the light. At that same moment in Tehran, televisions in apartments across the city show the live broadcast. Ordinary Iranians watch their own archive exposed to the world. Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, the nuclear architect, sits in an armored car, face white. 12 days later, Donald Trump will announce the U.S. withdrawal from the JCPOA. And it all began on the night 24 ghosts quietly left Shorabad, June 2021, small apartment in Ramat Aviv. Tamar, now 34, hair dyed brown, no longer has a code name, no longer smiles, sits by the window overlooking a calm Mediterranean. On the table, a cold coffee from morning and an open Haaretz headline, Ebrahim Raisi elected president of Iran with 62%. He vows to reach 90% uranium enrichment within 18 months. She holds an old photo taken in the Negev desert, the last picture of the 24-person team before departure. Two faces crossed out in red pen. The two who remain forever under the Ara's ice. She touches the glass frame and whispers in Hebrew almost inaudible. We won the battle, but lost the war. Since 2018, Iran has built 3 new underground enrichment facilities, 20% uranium stockpiles, up 12x, 60% up 8x. They no longer hide. They openly defy. And it all stems from the night the Shorabad warehouse was exposed to the world. The operation, once hailed as a Mossad masterpiece, proved Iran lied, caused America to kill the JCPOA, brought back crippling sanctions, but simultaneously handed Tehran's hardliners the perfect excuse to sprint toward the bomb without pause. Tamar turns off the television. The screen goes black, but the images still burn behind her eyes. The Merv blueprint Mohsen Fakhrizadeh's handwritten note can be ready 2020. If green light given, 2020 has passed. It is now 2021, and the green light has been on for a long time. She opens a drawer, takes out a thick brown envelope. Inside a one-way ticket to Vienna, a new passport under a different name, and a short message from the now retired Yossi Cohen, we need to go back. This time, not to steal, to destroy. She looks at the sea one last time, the sun setting blood red. Then she switches off the light. The room falls into complete darkness. Tehran night of 3 October 2025. Tamar, now 37, stands again on the Shorabad sidewalk exactly 400 meters from the old warehouse. Black hijab, long coat, but this time she is not counting streetlights. She only stares at the new steel door, freshly painted, as if it had never been cut. Inside it is now a transformer factory, but 42 meters underground lies the new secret enrichment plant Natanz II, built after the JCPOA died in 2018. In her tiny earpiece, Danny's voice, now gray-haired, whispers from Tel Aviv, 60 seconds until the keyhole satellite passes the blind spot. That is the only window in the next 11 months. Tamar smiles coldly. 60 seconds is enough to activate the second virus, 100 times stronger than Stuxnet, already implanted into the centrifuge control system by an Iranian engineer, bought for $3 million and a promise to get his family to Europe. She presses the button on her watch. No explosion. No flash. Only a 412 KB string of code silently slipping into the power grid, spreading like plague. 3 seconds later, 9,400 IR-8 centrifuges, 42 meters underground, begin spinning past 120% of design limit. Rotors shatter, toxic UF6 gas floods the tunnels. Natanz II dies in silence. At the same moment in Comfordau and Iraq, 3 other teams press their buttons simultaneously. Iran loses 70% of its enrichment capacity in one night without a single rocket fired. Tamar turns her back and walks into the darkness, whispering into her earpiece, Ahmad 2 is over. Ahmad 3 has just begun. Tehran 04-12-4, October 2025. Tamar walks slowly down the old Shorabad road, cold wind whipping her black coat. She does not look back. 42 meters underground Natanz II is now a heap of smoldering scrap, no explosion, no trace. She whispers into the night, Ahmad II is dead. Ahmad III has only just begun. Then she melts into the dark alley as if she never existed. But the story does. It lives, it breathes, and it is still waiting for you. You have just walked with Tamar through all 12 episodes, from her first stroll in Shorabad, through the heist of the century across the frozen river, through Baku airport, through the speech that shook the world, and now the silent strike that just killed 70% of Iran's nuclear program in a single night. You were here from the very first second. You are the only witness to a war no government dares acknowledge. Now it's your turn. Hit like right now if you want more of the darkest operations never told. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next part. Tamar will return to Tehran for the third time. This time not to steal, not to destroy, but to end it all. Write one single line in the comments. Tamar must return if you want that video next week. Every comment, every share is a bullet fired into the darkness. Helping Ghosts of Strategy keep uncovering the secrets they want buried forever. You are not just a viewer. You are an ally of the ghosts. Act now. Because Tamar is ready. Are you? See you in the dark. Ghosts of Strategy, we don't tell stories. We change history together with you.